Over at Loot Bet, they only narrowly favor Fate on this map. That is incredibly interesting to me.
It's going to be a B execute, and it's going to be pretty much a retake off the get-go from Fate. The CT defenders are miles away. They do have a kit and a smoke. Nicky needs to get a kill, but he is just actually kind of needed to fall back right there if he didn't get the opening pick. And now it's going to be the Fate team trying to retake the B bomb site. The smokes are blocking off their vision. Kit is on blocker, but it's not really the way that you want to start open this round, but that one definitely does help. Harn gets the kill. They spot a player out close towards short, and Frostlev is trying to play the anti-flash, but they just annihilate this Fake defense. And AGF with the opening pistol, a pretty strange defensive round coming out from Fate. Just gamble stacking on A on the very first round is not going to pay off for them.
Unfortunately, it does not, and that's AGF taking the lead in the opening round of this T side. Mirage is a fairly neutral map in the pool, so you wouldn't necessarily count AGF out of it, assuming that they are still on hot form and fired up after their recent victory. Of course, Fate, you imagine, would have been watching that last series, and that's probably why the Dust 2 pick didn't come out in this series. They thought, listen, I know we beat AGF on it earlier, but they looked a little bit stronger against AGO. Maybe we'll leave it and take it to more comfortable ground.
Yeah, that does seem the case. It's going to be a 4-man stack this time towards the B site, where they actually might run in, but it's only USPs to get anything done. And now it's going to be blocker solo towards that A site. Is going to rotate in. The Molly's going to force Harn off the angle, but Mars boosted on site. This is just going to be an easy cleanup, and the last man on site is Mark. Will get spotted out though by Lucky, and they don't lose a single soul on AGF, but the buy round will be coming in right about now, and that should be Fate with a solid chance to turn this game around.
Let's see whether or not they can pull it off. They have an AWP, but it's glass cannon on Harn. Netric, he's going to Mach 10 in his hands in this one, and there is a Galil on the board, so AGF looking perhaps for a bit of a bonus round. They could just about get a buyout in the next round with a loss here, so they are not exactly sitting pretty, but not in trouble if they lose control of this particular one. Nicky is the man charged with defending the B apartments, as Mar must hold B short. He must stop those mid pushes coming through. TMB, I think, is just about going to get away with that timing onto blocker. Now, Christo has taken Mar down. Nicky gets Lucky back, but Christo follows it up with the double. That's bomb going down in the B bomb site now, and AGF on track to get a third round on the board of this T side. Fate, they don't really have positions that indicate they want to go for the retake in this one, and with Harn backing away towards A, it's a 3-0 start for the Danish squad.
And it's not like they went for a super incredible strat. They just went B 3 rounds in a row. Blocker's trying to get some damage in. Needs to be careful of the Galil headshot, but Patrick saves his buddy's life there. Unfortunately, Harn drops that op on towards the A site, and it is not really recoverable either for the Fate defense. So that's a little bit unfortunate, but they will be picking up that op. But never mind, TMB is not going to risk beating that op back in the hands of the CT side. AGF on 3, Fate on at the moment 0 just yet. They do have 2 rifles into this round though, and hopefully they'll be able to defend the bomb site.
There is the option to drop over additional weaponry, but they would rather go for the cash preservation and keep themselves clean in terms of the cash. You do love to see it. The proper economy management, and you do love to see the ballast aggression as well. Unfortunately, it narrowly fails for Fate. Frostlev again can get a double kill in these rounds. He's coming through big in terms of the frags, and well, he is that star player on the AGF squad. He's going to need to turn up in series like this one. Mart tagged down, but it's Lucky who takes down Patrick. There's very little work for Fate to do in the A bomb site now, as the pistols are gonna try and find shots, but it's a clean-up from AGF on the A bomb site. 4-0 at the moment. This is a rather strong start indeed. Fate are gonna want to call a timeout pretty soon, just to slow things down. I might even consider doing it at the start of this round, just to reset your opponents a bit and give yourselves some time to calm down before the next gun round.
Yeah, these rounds are going pretty aggressively in favor of AGF right now, and their money is starting to look really good on the T side. We know that the CT side is actually more favorable for both teams on this map, and that is what's troubling me for Fate. Of course, they are looking at a dangerous map in the second one. They need to win this one, otherwise I really am gonna give them a very slim chance to win this series. It is gonna be the push towards the A bomb site coming out though. Lucky gets the kill. Oh, sorry, I got almost a little spooked that Christo got that headshot. It was like, well, wait, no, wait, what? But luckily enough, the flank comes out towards C-spawn. Will Mar spot that out in time? He does spot it out, but he does not get the kill. And towards short, Netric just completely, I mean, oblivious to the fact of possible positions from the CT side. Thinks that because a player pushed all the way from B that there might not be any B defenders left, but Nikki begs to differ. If you don't have the full intel of the enemy players, you should first wait before you push.
I think the idea is that Netric has been sat in ladder room for quite a while, and knowing there's been gunfights on A and a push coming through, he just assumes, as you mentioned, that there's nobody defending the B bomb site. But actually, Nicky had just been sat in that angle for ages, not moving, not leaving his position, and it pays off for Fate. They finally put a round on the board and put a stop to that T-side streak. AGF bringing the gun straight back out, though. They're not knocked down economically. They will have to take an eco in the next round, but TMB can always drop over the pistols to make sure it's a bit more of a dangerous one for them. So it can still be Deagles and Armor up into the next, but with a loss, it would be potentially Fate building up a nice CT streak here.
And that is Patrick underneath Plateau getting one kill, but a one and done. Bomb site has been gifted away. And just like that, Fate, are they going to go for the retake? They do have a flank coming out from Mar again. It might be red. It's actually already red. We see the flank being held by Lucky at the moment. And he's just going to hold the angle down. Nothing they can really do. They got overwhelmed on the A side, gave it away easily, and they'll just keep that up and 2 rifles into the next one. So they at least have a force up in the next round coming through. Harn gets a kill onto TMB through the smoke. But it is AGF on 5, Fate on 1, and they will continue that rush forward. Mar might get spotted out here by Lucky. Does get the kill onto Lucky, though, and will fall back, save his M4. And all things considered, not too bad of a round. Yeah, losing it, of course, sucks for Fate, but they managed to keep 3 guns alive and managed to take 3 guns down.
5-1 up, and AGF, they are going to call that timeout. Super interesting, considering they're the side in the lead, and, well, it's not quite late enough in the half to say that they've got Fate on the ropes, but they definitely have the potential to cause some serious damage here on Mirage. If they get it done here against Fate on this map, Inferno looks absolutely brilliant for them, considering how they played on it earlier and the scoreline they managed to achieve against Fate the last time they played against them on it. Fate, that timeout I think also does work in their favor a little bit. They've had some time to chill out now and talk about what's been going wrong. AGF, these executes are very fast, and they are finding pretty much dry headshots because their flashes don't quite connect. Drop some well-timed Molotovs on the Fate side, counter flash these rushes, and you'll start to stabilize, I think.
But it is, yeah, it's definitely doable. Fate, they just need to solidly defend the site, not give, for instance, B site away every single time. Harn, a little bit of an aggressive peak, but no one is going to get in his vision right there. AGF are playing a very defensive hold to see if Fate make an aggressive push and make a massive mistake. TMB down below in tunnels will just be holding the window angle. And slowly but surely, AGF are looking to take mid-op shot whiffed. And with that, it's going to be more control for AGF. They do know that the opera was in connector, so they know that it's, at least at the moment, should not be an op towards B unless they went for the double op setup, but that's very unlikely this early on in the series. Patrick, close range. The barrel spotted out by Frost left, but he could not hold back his anticipation for that shot. Takes a little bit of his own 1G molly damage, and now it's going to be the execute towards A. Onsite pushes forward, does manage to get a kill, but traded out immediately. Frostlev up A on plateau. Is going to spot the opera out, but does not have to repeat the opera, and the bomb is going to get planted on site inside the smoke. Nicky on the flank. Harn has the op, and he's already bolting all the way back to try and save it. It seems Nicky is still holding that ramp area. Will Christo get the kill? Here's the scope. Swaps guns, and that is going to be the op. Probably recovered for Nicky, saving it for his team so they can go for the double op setup. But again, another one for AGF. A pretty costly round again, losing 3 players there, but it doesn't really matter for them as long as they keep winning these rounds.
Yeah, they're happy to throw 2 players away there just so that they can try and steal those AWPs away. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for them, but the attempt is worth more than the saved AK in that one. Now with this timeout, we have the opportunity to talk about our partners over at Hellcase, and if you use those promo codes in red, Malta V and Malta V15, you can save more and grab what you deserve with Hellcase. Fate now calling a timeout on their own CT side. This is a buy round for them. Han can drop a weapon if Mar or Patrick feel as though they wouldn't have enough utility off the back of their buy. Nicky can do the same thing. If that's what needs to happen for Fate, then that is what can occur. M4A1S does get dropped over from Nicky. Han looks as though he's dropped a rifle out as well. So full utility across the board. All the weapons that Fate could hope for, and a perfect recipe to claim victory here. AGF, I think they've misread this one. They've picked up 2 MAC-10s, which indicates that they're expecting a potential eco, but maybe this is a counter to the double AWP.
Yeah, if they rush it out quickly, there is an op from Harn towards short, but it's going to get smoked off. Mar gets a double spray down on site. The T's were flashed, it seems. I don't know if it was a T or I did not really check exactly who flashed who, but it is going to be the bomb planted on site. Lucky, a very crucial pick right there to give them a chance in this round. All 3 coming from short, but that molly is going to deter them all the way back. One is close range though, blocker right behind that smoke. And Lucky, why is everyone always swapping towards their knives so early on? Oh my god, Frost left the triple spray down. 7 kills for him in total, and the absolute monster defense towards B short. Look at this replay. Oh wait, this I'm waiting for the second replay. But yeah, this one was also nice. It was Netric and Harn getting flashes in. Netric, I think, is... Yeah, that one, oh my god, that one was so clean.
I was literally about to use the same description. Clean is the perfect word there. Wonderfully executed spray down on short, and it's not actually enough to break that Fate economy just yet. They can still get AWPs out and put rifles on the board. AGF are 7-1 up at the start of Fate's pick. This is really Danish dominance at the moment. They went slightly quiet against AGO, but now they appear to have woken back up and are shouting and screaming on Mirage. Patrick trying for the spam. Eventually it does work out. He's on about half HP though, and Han's only on 1, but they're both still alive and kicking in the sight. Not for long as TMB walks in. Han needs to retreat on just 1, as any nade could take him out. TMB's spray down is going to get it done for a triple kill in the round. He has found everything so far, and these AGF players, they are firing on all cylinders. everybody turning up and having big plays right now. Fate, meanwhile, they are totally quiet on the fragging front.
Yeah, they are just getting absolutely played apart by AGF. It's not like AGF are doing anything massive in these rounds. They're not going for a big bait and switch or anything along those lines. They're just winning the outright duels. Fate is, I pretty much like 80% of the time, completely caught off guard, have absolutely no idea what's heading their direction. And their CT side has just been looking disastrous. The kills on the board not looking too great, but also not looking a 1-8 scoreline. Of course, they did manage to get a couple of kills, but most of these rounds have been saves, constantly just trying to keep their weapons alive. And, well, it's going to be only Mar keeping his M4 alive into the next round, which should be, I would hope to see a semi-buy and not a full buy coming out. Otherwise, you're going to extend this lead even further, most likely.
I mean, the Fate loss bonus, it has bottomed out at this point, so if they wanted just rifles, they could get it. But what they need is Molotovs at this point in time. AGF are hitting these sites at incredible pace. Within the first 30 seconds, they're finding these opening kills, and there's not enough utility to slow them down for my money. There's not enough counter flashes or mollies to keep them at bay, and with the very little amount of room they're being given, they are finding all of the frags. You need to use walls of smokes, you need to use flames, and you need to deny map control to AGF, because if you give them an inch, they will take a mile.
They will take a massive mile indeed. It's going to be a double opener for the side of AGF. They might get Frost left close, but Blocker gets tagged as well. It is going to be the bomb planted on site. No one towards CT at the moment. 2 in connector, 1 now crossing to try and get closer, but Ken gifted away the bomb site like it's absolute nothing. I mean, it's almost like taking candy from a baby is how easy they're just shutting down this Fate defense. It's nothing showing up. This is not the one, the Fate showing that we had previously on Dust 2 today. It's just absolute destruction, obliteration coming out from AGF. They have only played this map 3 times in the last 3 months on AGF, and that might be the bait play right there. Fate with 30% think that they can take him out on this map specifically, and it might have been completely a bamboozle on their side.
That's what I was sort of alluding to in the pre-game. Having only played it 3 times, it's either because people are trying to avoid you on it or because you're not too competent. And I actually think that this isn't... the evidence suggests this is not supposed to be a good map in the pool for AGF. You look back even 6 months into their history and they've only played it 5 times on HLTV in the last 6 months. 1 win in those 5 plays. This just indicates to me that they're having a huge T-side performance at the moment. Their individuals are turning up in unprecedented ways in terms of the fragging, and Fate have absolutely no answer for it. They're going to get double AWPs out, but they need every single round in the half now to make it a 9-6 scoreline on their pick. And, I mean, AGF are supposed to be stronger on the CT side of this map.
Yeah, we might still get treated to a great CT side of theirs, but they need to at least get 5 rounds, I would say, at this moment would be great for them. Will they be able to wake up with the double op setup in this round? Well, it's definitely going to help that Netric accidentally misses the flash. Nade comes in deep and does a lot of damage there to Netric, but how are they going to defend this on the CT side? They are going to have only 1 player towards B and Nikki. And Blocker with the 1 op is stationed all the way in CT, 1 in jungle. Mid control gifted away to the AGF side, and Patrick is getting a little bit uneasy, trying to go for some formation play. He's going to walk forward, spots out the player in Frostlev, and will fall back immediately. Mar is still playing the sneaky angle, but he gets the kill nonetheless. Netric, will he catch out Mar? Mar is getting aggressive through the smoke and tries to make it a double. Will not pay off. And with that, Netric is now inside ladder room together with Christoph. Blocker is holding the angle though, but this is just a waiting game. The bomb is in that ladder, of course, and they want to execute out on the B bomb side, but there are two players there. There's a rotation very close by from Blocker, who is still doubting exactly where he wants to go. He's going to head towards CT, and that is the wrong call possibly to be made, because they are going to execute towards B, and hopefully Nikki can defend this. 20 seconds left on the clock, and that is Crystal getting the opening kill. Harn needs to go big with the op to deny the bomb plan to come through, and that is the bomb drop. They need to get that bomb on site quickly right now. They need to pick it. The peak comes out, and they're just playing hot potato with that bomb. They are going to go for the bomb plant in, and Netric should be able to get it down, but that was just disaster. Luckily, Lucky gets a shot in, gets a kill, and Netric is the last man standing against Patrick. Needs to clutch it out, spots the last player towards short, and is ring around the roses while they're all playing the games, and Patrick with... I can't... How much HP? Patrick with 13 HP manages to win that round, 2-9. But again, this is down to the absolute wire every single time.
So close on the V-bomb site. AGF just about miss out, but they've got 10k in the bank. They're going to bring those AKs back out again, and they nearly won that round after Han got a huge double kill. Should have denied the plant coming through there, really, but somehow AGF pull it off. They capitalize on the aggression to kill the planter, and they very nearly clutched that one out. This time Fate don't have double AWPs on the board. It's just the one sniper for Han. M4s though, flushing out the rest of the side. It's started to empty the bank now for Fate. That's the issue. They lose this round, they face an economic reset at a very late stage in this first half.
Luckily, it is not as bad as old school CS was, where it was actually a full economic reset and you were pretty much just done. Now it's you at least have a little bit of money, but Mar does not have a single penny right there after being naded in the face. Towards B bomb site, it is Nikki on the plateau right there, and he's the only one and even close by to try and deny this one. Lucky is gonna peek into him, and Nikki is just, I mean, he's asleep, you know, just snoozing at the moment. Netric in jungle as well. My god, this is double digit for AGF. Netric throwing down the smoke as well, but the steps have been heard. Jumps out of window. Patrick will win that fight, grab the AK, and they will try to save that op and AK into the next. But 10-2 in favor of AGF, and I'm really having problems seeing a chance for Fate, especially in that Inferno map after this.
This is a huge shock to Fate's system. I don't think they were anticipating this at all, and the only thing that looks as though it could defeat AGF now is overconfidence. But, I mean, they have the aim to back up their confidence. Normally, you see teams start to pull ahead, and then they start rushing into bomb sites. That's when the CTs start earning rounds again. That's when they start building up those streaks and pulling off those comebacks. AGF have been rushing the bomb site since the start of this map. That's been their default setting, is sprint in at high velocity and take immediate control of the bomb sites. They don't necessarily go in the first 10 seconds, but almost always within the first minute, and Fate, they've just not been able to deal with that. However you look at it, they do take the economic reset, but with the saved weapons, they can just about get cash on the board. The bank is still empty here for them, though.
Yep, it is. I mean, that's the last round bonus coming through. Patrick does spot no one towards mid. It does seem like a lot of players are heading towards that A bomb site. So far, at least. But big mid control coming out from Fade. This time, their game plan is just to play the a little bit more of that control factor. Whereas AGF, they just want to explode on A, might be able to catch Blocker off guard here. They do have the Harn op still, though, towards jungle. And Blocker, is he going to push forward to get some intel, which could definitely cost him? It depends on how AGF are going to play this. Smokes come out, the flashes as well. He's going to peek in, but the headshot from Lucky coming out. And that is the opening kill coming through. Look at the flank from B as well. We have Netric all the way towards B. Is going to crawl himself into CT, and that should get a big kill. He spots a player all the way in the back, pushing towards CT. Nicky gets heavily tagged. He did not actually get the kill onto Nicky, but he's now in jungle, and Mar turns his back. There's no communication from Nicky that there's a player in CT, and that gives them a nice opening, but they traded out. Patrick going big for his team. Almost gets himself the third right there, but it is going to be, for some reason, Christo trying to peek the Opper. It is the information gained, though, of the positioning of Harn, who is now going all the way towards the CT spawn. And I mean, Frostlev just needs to hold the cross. That is all he needs to do. Harm needs to peek into him and not him into Harn. So this is going to be a tough one. This is actually an angle that he's standing right now on Frostlev that you normally do check with the op. He's going to jump up. And that is a sound cue gifted, but not the kill. Luckily, Frostlev does manage to turn that one still in his team's favor, and a big round. Economically speaking, they should probably just force up every single time on Fate. Well, they're going to go for a semi-buy, it seems. But they did even have enough for it. Yeah, I would suggest just go for the full buy there. Don't really know why Mar went for the scout. The reasoning behind it was, of course, Harn had enough for the op, so why wouldn't you just keep on force buying? You need the last 2 rounds anyway, and well, having all the weapons that you need double up and stuff has not resulted in any clear advantage on your side either.
All going wrong for Fate, but Harn is trying his best to swing back these opening advantages. They just get the kills back, AGF. Netric opens on to Nicky, who tries to push forward and secure that mid control. Look at this, Frostlev, how is he allowed a kill from that? Just walks out of the smoke and takes one of them down. They get info on the ramp player now, who's going to be Molotoved off. Blocker has to push forward, which they should expect, and they do trade out 1 for 1 there. Not ideal, and that shows you that this isn't a perfect side on AGF, but they're doing the right things in these gunfights. Oh my word, Mar gets caught out jump peeking. And Harn now 1-on-2 retake with an AWP, nigh on impossible. It's going to be 12-2 at the start of Mirage right now.
Well, it's not over just yet. Has the smokes, but yeah, never mind, it's over. But yeah, 12-2. I mean, this might be a quick series if Fate do not get their act together. Of course, the first map does not tell a story for the second or the third at all in the slightest. But this is a crushing blow to Fate, and I assume we're going to head over to Inferno soon enough. They got bamboozled by AGF on the bans, it seems. And they have definitely been annihilated. The Crystal getting the opening kill there. Mid control forced by the Fate squad. They're getting aggressive, but it gets completely read by this AGF offensive side. Sprayed on from Harn, gets himself one, but gets traded out, and now you're looking at a 4 versus 2 situation. Patrick is going for the push, but Christo is even checking that flank. I think he just spotted the head.
Yeah. Well, definitely did that time.
And Patrick spotted his head as well, but it's now all on Nicky. 1 versus 2. Will not find the last 2 players, and 13-2. What a absolute destruction of a half coming out from the AGF side. Completely against my expectations, and definitely pretty impressed. I'd say pretty impressed.
It's half time already. 13-2 up AGF. They win the pistol round. This is going to be one of the quickest games we have seen in this Malta Vibes Cup. 13-2 opener on the T side. What? Surely not. Surely not. Our partners over at Lootbet. What is being smoked in that office? Surely not. I can only not believe that those odds are correct. I mean, if they are, get out and get those AGF bets in, boys. That is brilliant return. In fact, they'll be right back.
Easy comeback, bro. This is an easy comeback for Fate. No worries. They couldn't make it 10 odds, of course, because otherwise, you know, so many people would make bank right here. We can all smell it. This T side from Fate, it's going to be just one bullet headshots every single day of the week. They're also going for the AGF, the same defense as Fate went, but this time they do manage to get the opener. Nikki gets a kill in return as well, but peek out wide from Lucky, and AGF are getting aggressive on their CT side. Patrick and Harn have to try and get that bomb plant in, but Christo is so close, rushes him right, puts the barrel in his mouth and pulls the trigger right there. Absolute Escobar style coming out from this AGF defense. And now Harn solo versus 2. Diggle peeks to try and get an opening onto them, but he needs to get the bomb plant in, and they're slowly crawling forward. They're going to go for the double peek. He gets one headshot. He's going for the second one, but he's down to 11 HP. Needs that headshot connection onto Netric, sorry, but Netric dodges underneath the bullet, and it's going to be AGF 14-2. I'm only this is a prediction. I predict AGF is going to win map number 1.
I'll tell you what, you might just be right on that one. I think you might be onto something. 14-2 in the lead. Absolute insanity from AGF. This is the last chance, really, from Fate. The second round upset. The speed pistols into the B bomb site. Get a Galil out there. Why not? Fate, where did it all go wrong? I mean, it's virtually impossible to lose a map at this scoreline. AGF, I mean, Fate would have to get on to... They'd need 10 rounds in a row for me to even start believing. And even then, AGF, they let AGO all the way back into 14-14 and then shut the door in their face.
Yeah, that's just such an alpha move. It's unreal. But Harn gets the opening kill, and Patrick chimes in for a second. Frostlev in connector has to face up against a bunch, but only gets 2. Well, only still 2 is pretty nice. Lucky coming through with that FAMAS, and now it's all on Mar. Can Mar get anything done? It's a toughie. Lucky and Netric both have the FAMASs in hand. Bomb is inside connector. Smoke's about to dissipate, and the angle's being held, but Mar needs to go for that quick peek and get that instantaneous headshot. He's expecting it, but Lucky gets the first headshot. 15-2. That, my friend, is 13 map points that they have to overcome. 13.
That is insane. AGF. They must be so pumped up after that victory against AGO. That is the only thing that can be explained it. They must be elated at the moment. They're having a wonderful time on Mirage. They have grinning, beaming smiles across the team because they need one round to finish it off in record time. TMB is going in for the flank. He's actually starting to run. I think they've got the sound cues on that, so someone is going to be waiting for his flank to come through, and they do clean it away, but it's a 3-on-3 scenario, and look at the HP of these Ts. Frostlev and Christo start ripping players apart, and now Nikki and Patrick need some very swift headshots to win this round. The flames start to clear, and Christo actually is going to go forward into this one. Nikki peeks into him, and that actually works out for the T side. Patrick can help with a kill onto Lucky. Fate stay alive for the moment, but at 15-3 down, they're just delaying the inevitable.
Yeah, easy, my friend. I mean, I 15 odds at the moment, or 20, or whatever we're on. 12 rounds in a row. Fate's got this. No worries. I believe in the Bulgarian squad. I kind of have no hope for them on this map, but let's see how many they can string in a row and see what nuisance they can do to AGF. AGF is just forcing up as well. Frostlev gets the opening kills. Gonna try and get on top, but he gets stuck on the ladder. Look, wait, what? He does not? What? How
is he still alive? What is happening? Frostlev has found a triple kill with the FAMAS. Blocker is alone now. But the over-aggression, it may have just worked in his favor. He fakes out the plant. Netric's not close enough to contest that. And now this one's going to be played a bit differently. Blocker, he looks over and lands the headshot. That is a much-needed recovery. Frostlev with a triple kill in there. So close again. But Fate stay alive with one.
I mean, this looks so weird. I mean, we don't get to see exactly what happened. So unfortunate there that we don't. But how does he manage to still get the player down below? Then, I mean, it looked like he completely botched up his ladder walk.
There was a Molotov that came through from the CT side that prevented the T's from walking forward, and basically the T's didn't advance into it because Lucky was stood in it on the CT side. They did not expect fire to be dropped down at their teammates' feet, and Lucky in the flames peeks out and distracts them, buys enough time for Froslev to peek up and down that ladder and find the crazy triple kill. He's got one in this. Mac 10 picked up, but they're saving now for the next full gun round. Fate, so much work for them to do if they want a chance at their map pick.
And I mean, saving the AK is nice. It's a solid rifle. They're gonna go for the full-on hunt because, well, of course they don't have anything really to lose here. Froslev gets back 9 HP. Gets one though while he's on 9 HP, but that's all he's gonna get. Only the one kill coming through, and with that, it is still 10 rounds to go, but it's a lot better than 13.
It certainly
I know, my
is.
math is amazing.
AGF, are they even going to buy into this one? They might give it away. They can't get everything they want, so why not wait at this point, at this scoreline? There's not much point in holding on to it. You're never really going to get your opponents on an eco now because you only need a single victory to win this map, so just keep saving. They might as well. Quick round for Fate to get through up on to 15-6, but it's just about massaging the egos of the Fate side at this point. Going to try and get as many rounds on the board as they can. But now AGF have the full guns out. No AWP on the Fate T side. And we'll have to see whether or not AGF have it in them to take control of things in this round.
No op for the Fate squad. AGF have one on Christo. TMB in mid. Just gonna spray a little bit through the smoke, see if you can get a connect. Yeah, Christo gets the headshot through the smoke with the op. Boom opener coming in for AGF. And now it's Fate looking to try and get back that advantage that they lost. They still need to win 9 rounds in a row to force out overtime. It's a pretty tough order, but it is doable.
I may disagree with you on that one. Don't think it's doable.
It's so doable. AGF definitely, you know, this is the moment where, you know, just like Dennis did, you just throw some water on your keyboard by accident.
Ooh.
Oh, now it's getting a little bit tougher. Okay, I might have to retract my statement on the matter right there. Especially with Lucky. Ooh, getting his head chopped. Ooh, Mar with the double. Oh no. And now Netric is getting a little bit anxious. Gives away his position by running there. But Christo joins towards that B-bomb site. And they have a read.
Oh.
But Patrick doesn't even look in his general direction right there. And that's going to be the bomb dropped towards B. For some reason, Frostlev is still chilling towards that A site. Even though they have knowledge that the bomb is heading their direction. Gets the kill, and now Mar 1v3. Can he go for the ace clutch to win it for his team? They need this round. Every round is a possibility of a disaster coming through. Yeah, no, Christo does shut him down, and that it's going to be 16-6. Could have been 16-2, but they managed to at least win a couple of rounds on this Fate side.
Well, that is ridiculous from AGF. They pull off an insane upset at the start of this Decider series with a 14-2 first half and nearly able to close out the map 16-2. That is absolutely ridiculous. We now head on to their pick of Inferno as the second, and the last time they played Inferno against Fate, they beat them 16-6. Can the Bulgarians dig deep and resist the Danish tide, or is it their fate to be eliminated from this Malta Vibes Cup? Find out after this break. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Malta Vibes, brought to you by Gaming Malta, a home of gaming excellence. It is time for our second map in this best of three series after a incredible performance from AGF on Mirage. They dominated Fate on Fate's pick and now head into their strongest map in the pool. Do they have it in the tank to 2-0? Well, we're about to find out. My name is Protalis, and guiding you through this one with me is DK Truman. What do you think? Do AGF have it in them to make it to the playoffs?
Yes. Yeah, I would say so. I mean, after that massively dominating performance, I assume that they'll clear it out in two maps. Of course, they took out AGO on this map, and they have definitely shown a good showing on their T side. Still, their CT side might be a little bit rough, but not as rough as Fate's one in that previous map. So, definitely do expect AGF to 2-0 them in this series. But it would not surprise me if all of a sudden Fate step up their game and come back swinging to turn this one around, which is pretty much what the big question is going to be. What kind of Fate are we going to get to see in this next upcoming map?
That's actually crazy that Patrick and Lucky had the same number of kills, but it was such a dominant map performance there from the guys over at AGF. Just absolute incredible work being done by them. And I mean, Patrick, obviously, he was stepping up, giving it a try, trying to keep his team in the game, but just not able to get it done whatsoever. The fragging, I mean, it did start to pick up in the second half of Fate, but Patrick's the only man who went positive on their side. And it was a really rough one all around for the players who you normally expect to be big names in that roster.
Yeah, you definitely expected a little bit more right there, especially from Harn on the op. It's rather lackluster, but the problem, as you can see, everyone pretty much dropped the ball, except for, in this case, Patrick. But I do expect them to start picking it up on the second map. They definitely had a little bit of rest, a little bit of discussion on what went wrong. The summary of it is, of course, everything, and they will be hopefully refreshed for this next upcoming match. It is going to be, of course, a rather tough one up against AGF, who are looking pretty good right now, and excited to see this second map and if they'll be able to take it to a third one in the end.
That is going to have to take a huge effort from the Fate squad. They need to hit the ground running in this map. I think that's the only way to catch AGF off guard. If you can stop them from getting a strong start, knock them off kilter early on, that's how you're going to be able to claim victory. Make sure it remains competitive throughout the map. You let them build that early momentum again, they're going to fall back into the same rhythm they did on Mirage, strafe around and tap your head off. They put out a great performance against AGO, and despite nearly letting it slip at the end of the map, they still were able to take it to a dominant 13-8 scoreline before that comeback could actually occur. So the AGF boys, they've already played Inferno today. They're well experienced on the map, and it's their pick in the series. Their best map in the pool. There should not be a better opportunity for AGF to 2-0 this series. And if they lose this second map, I'd actually be really worried for them heading into the third.
Yeah, that third map definitely looks a lot scarier. That is pretty much Fate's best map in the entirety of their map pool. Highest win rate and almost their most played map as well. So AGF, they kind of need to close it out in two, because I think that last one would go in favor of Fate. So let's see if Fate can get the reverse sweep going, or if this is going to be a 2-0, and we're going to start this match by going live to the knife round, which is, of course, a rather crucial point, because we saw AGF on their CT side looking very lackluster previously, and they definitely want to start on that T side to try and get the advantage. And it's, however, looking like it's going to be the Fate squad getting the decision to be made. Are they going to choose CT or T is the big question here.
Well, traditionally speaking, they do prefer the T side of this map, but it is a more CT sided map in general, so I wouldn't be surprised if they chose to stick here to the defensive half, and that is exactly what they did. Now, interestingly enough, Fate coming into Inferno with a 16-9 victory against Espada 4 days ago, which definitely is an achievement for the Fate squad. That much is for certain. And in that map, it was Blocker and Patrick, both the top fraggers. Actually, Nikki, the second fragger in that series, so they're going to need to show up big. Our partners over at Lootbet, though, they think that AGF have this map in the bag. Fate definitely the outside chance at this one, and they are going to need to prove a lot of people wrong if they want to remain in this series.
I do expect them to do exactly that. If they, I mean, it's going to be a very competitive one, especially what you said. The Espada stat is a rather important one because, of course, Espada is a very solid team that made it pretty far in the previous iteration of the Malta Vibes tournament last week. But let's see what kind of strats they're going to run on this AGF side. Peek towards B. The bomb is actually slowly crawling towards A, though. And they're going to go for the double nade throw, it seems. Are they actually just going to nuke down Nikki on that angle right there? Oh, the second nade comes out as well. That is Nikki. He did not actually have a kit, so armor, so he just got his face blown off, and that's a good opener for AGF. Good utility usage right there. DMB just pushing towards that B-bomb site. Gets himself a kill. And now they're going to group up together to go for that B take. And yeah, the players in pit are just chilling, relaxing, oh cool, shooting some meatball outside of the school.
Great pistol round so far for AGF. Do they expect the last man in the site? It doesn't matter even if they don't, because TMB is good for the headshot. That's the pistol secured by AGF on the T side of this map. Not much Han and Blocker are going to be able to do to retake the B bomb site. It's actually it's Lucky going aggressive in second mid to find some frags, and he actually takes down Blocker. This is what I mean. AGF are just dominating the gunfights right now. Han is able to put a bullet in the back of Lucky's brain, but these T's look like they're going hunting to remove this body armor.
And they're this is a tough one indeed for Fate. This is not the opener that you want. I mean, this is they completely even left that B bomb site alone. Harn inside apps, and it's going to be a force up probably from Fate behind it to try and get anything done. Harn is going to pick up the scout, which should deny him an opportunity later on if they lose this round and the next one.
Fate going to be looking to score quickly in the second here, then try and knock AGF off their podium, because there is also a bit of a timer on for Fate in terms of scoring in this one. With such a dominant performance from AGF in the last map, if they are unable to score any of the early rounds, they could find themselves in serious trouble for the remainder of this map. Now, they are trying to find damage in this round, and they do get close to finding multiple more kills, but the MAC-10s are still alive and kicking now, and Ma has only 2 HP on the bomb site. He needs to land a double consecutive headshot, and he's not facing the right way, unfortunately. Patrick comes in late with that deagle. Could look for a weapon in mid to save forward to the next, but there are MAC-10s creeping around to deny that potential. Patrick could get the swing out onto Lucky here. Timing is going to work out for him, and Lucky walking into Boiler, actually. Patrick is holding that trigger discipline for too long, and he's missed his opportunity. 2-0 for AGF at the start of this round. AK's picked back up for them and should be a 3-0 start after this eco.
And that is, of course, the opener that AGF are looking for. Not losing too many players. Start building up a little bit of a bank. Use those MAC-10s to try and just flush out this defense from Fate. But they do have a USPs, and USPs are incredibly deadly weapons occasionally. Nade lands on Netric actually behind Crystal, and it's going to be a decent amount of damage. That nade is going to do a lot of damage, almost taking Mar from 100 to 0. But Frostlev is just trying to hold left mouse button, looking for that ace, but it gets stolen away by Netric. And now there will be a fight a lot amongst AGF because he did not give his teammate that free eco ace.
Well, let's hope that that battle doesn't detract too much from AGF's skill in the upcoming round. It's one that Fate are really going to be desperate for on the CT side. They want to start scoring early. They can't allow themselves to go anything like 6-7, 1 down. A start like that would indicate another dominant start for AGF, and at that point, Fate might start to mentally check out of this series if they're continually being dominated in the gunfights.
It is going to be that push towards A quickly. Execute coming out. Harn gets himself the opening kill. And the cross is going to get sprayed right now by Patrick, but he ran out of bullets. He's going to play close range. Frostlev will get a kill in his favor, but Patrick just walks through the smoke, and this is an absolute annihilation of the AGF offense. They took too long. There were 2 players towards the A side, but they just took too long to try and make that cross happen, to actually pounce on these defending players, and that cost them dearly. AGF lose a round, and we'll have another buy into the next, but the fact that Fate managed to keep so many players alive is rather problematic for them, because they are going to be able to build up a bank themselves, and you do not want to give Fate too many chances to pick up an op.
AGF went for the quick round, but Fate had the quick rotations and were able to shut that play down. 5 AKs back out on the T side though, and they're looking to deal some more damage. Early utility trading up and down Banana, but it doesn't deal very much damage to either side. It's just Nikki who takes 4 HP's worth from it, and Han up close here, looking for the early shot onto Frostlev. He shouldn't peek out of that doorway without follow-up flashbang, and those flashes are brilliant in the A-bomb side from AGF. They follow up onto Mar on the balcony as well, and that is the A-bomb site given away. Looks like Fate are probably going to need to save through this one. Patrick and Nikki probably not going to have anything to say about this. Need to get back away, as Nikki's going to wait with the MP9 for the exits. At least he has a bit of cash in the bank, so if he can find some bonus money with that kill, maybe this next round looks slightly better for Fate than it otherwise does. But AGF going up 4-1. If they can get through the next buy, it's another great start for them.
Well, if you manage to save an AK, I guess they could go for a buy, of course, with the round loss bonus that they're gaining, and AK's weapons to be able to get dropped. Nikki gets himself a kill. I think they will be forcing into the next. They will even be able to drop an op for Harn here. It should be a solid buy behind it. Yeah, Patrick can drop towards Mar, pick up his own weapon, and they should have enough utility and weapons on the side of Fate to get a good buy going. But of course, that would put them at a problematic situation if AGF managed to win the round. And then you're looking at a scoreline that you said, which was 5-1 or 6-1. And that is, I mean, that's pretty much what Fate were in the last map on their CT side. It's not looking too great. It's also not like AGF again are going for the biggest strats in the book. They are mainly just aggressing heavily towards that A bomb site, and that's already the opener towards A. Harn is going to get taken out. Mar does get the trade track coming in. Netric, however, shuts another one out. 4 versus 2. They know one player is towards short, and that is Mar, who can be peeked from the balcony. Gets taken out. Easy kill. Bomb is still all the way down towards Banana, but it is Nikki 1 versus 4. Might get the flank in, but yeah, they spot him out, and that's 5-1. Eco semi-buy coming out from Fate into this one. A couple of upgraded pistols, but all things considered, AGF are absolutely destroying Fate.
This is the exact opposite of what Fate wanted at the start of Inferno. AGF, it looks like the exact same team on Mirage, running in, taking dry gunfights and winning them. That is a very scary T-side to be up against, and the fact that they're carrying it on Inferno, which is a more CT-sided map than Mirage is, and they're still running out and getting these headshots, just dominating with the AKs and winning the gunfights. Fate, they are in serious trouble if they can't put a good scoreline out on the CT side. AGF are already up to 5. The utility usage from them on the T side has been great as well. The nades just forcing Fate back off the angles. And the Deagles, they are trying to do the work here. We know AGF face weaknesses on this site. They struggled to retake it. And they struggled against AGO to actually hold down the bomb sites after the plants as well. So we do know that AGF aren't a perfect side on Inferno. Fate, they just need to get into the positions where they can capitalize on those weaknesses. So far, they can't make it to the late round because they lose the early gunfights.
They are going to play a little bit of a stack TMB. Tries to jump. Nicky's actually playing cheeky around that smoke. They have a flash on Mar. Actually, Nicky is going to walk forward and get himself shut down. Once he's dead, Harn does have the Zeus in hand. Is probably looking for a target to zap down. Peeks out wide. Is trying to bait them in closer, but Lucky gets a kill. Coming through Frostlev, same thing on to Harn. It's all on Mar and Patrick to make something work. And there towards the B bomb site. Bomb's going to get planted. 6-1 for AGF. And I'm just seeing a complete repeat of that previous map.
Yeah.
Nothing being done by Fate here on their defensive side.
Now, admittedly, that last round was one that they had pistols in, but still, it didn't look like they had much of a chance in any of those engagements. They need to get the full guns out in the next, and they need to start scoring. AGF, 6 rounds is a good ending to the T side of Inferno, and AGF have it at the beginning, in the first half of the first half. Fate, I don't know whether it's them looking quiet after the series in Windstrike or whether it's AGF who we just have to give commendations to in terms of their aim. Something tells me that there has to be some weakness in this Fate side because, as you've mentioned already, these aren't the flashiest strats for AGF. They go quick, they pop the flashes, and they win their gunfights. Now we have the opportunity to talk about our case partners at Hellcase, the biggest and most well-known case opening website with almost 100 cases, the updated case battle, upgraded dozens of giveaways per month, and loads of unique features. Timeout finally coming through from Fate. Definitely the right opportunity for one. I mean, just look at that AGF bank. They need to slow this T-side train down.
But how do they slow it down? Because they have so many rounds in a row to come through. Harn can pick up the op. Does he feel comfortable enough to pick it up, though, to try and take the duel to AGF? We see on AGF side, they have one solid carry at the moment with Frostlev on 10 frags, breaking double digits already. But, I mean, Blocker is still on 0 kills after 7 rounds. Patrick's only on 2. I mean, the highest fragger on their side is on 4. And that's really problematic for the team in... from Fate, the Bulgarians, and definitely not showing their best version of the game. There's going to be a quick B rush. The rush through comes out. It's going to be a big window coming out. Nicky going massive with a triple kill and Patrick chiming in as well. That's going to be a completely red shutdown from Fate. They expected it. And they managed to defend against it is the more crucial point.
The post-timeout rush is such a readable strategy, and AGF, as the team ahead, they are full of confidence, and it's no surprise that they went for it. Nicky able to hold on in that one and give a round over to the Fate side pretty easily. It's going to be good news for the CT money, and I can't imagine they take another one at the same pace, but Christo is stomping up Banana at the moment. He's just taken a bit of utility damage for his troubles. These aggressive kills down Banana not quite working out now as Fate perhaps are adjusting to these AGF setups. They're going for the heavy utility dumps, and While it might look as though it's AGF losing out on these opening engagements, what they are doing is completely emptying the B bomb site of utility. I mean, only Patrick is defending B at the moment, and he's aggressive at the top of Banana. There's so little utility left available for the T side, and that is exactly what AGF wanted by going aggressive up into these angles.
Yeah, Molly's going to flush him out as well, but no one is actually holding the angle. I mean, if you're going to Molly that, you definitely should have at least one player just locking it down. The rotation back towards B Harn with the op could be flashed off the angle, assuming that, as I just assume that he is going to get flashed off the angle before they go for the peak. There's going to be a smoke coming through. It's all about timing. He's actually going to peek out wide, spots the arm, will not get the shot connection, will eventually manage to get rid of Netric, but Blocker and Nikki both rushing through Banana. It's going to get spotted out by Frostlev, but Frostlev shut down, and that should be the intel gain. Bomb is going to get planted. DMB is kind of in a very problematic position right there, especially because Lucky cannot go for the defensive play, and will they expect Lucky to be that close range with the way that the bomb was being planted at the moment is the big question. It seems Blocker has an inkling. First kill goes to Lucky. Close range. Peek out wide and Nikki shuts him down. Another round for Fate, and AGF definitely should have had that one in the books right there for their side. But it is going to be Fate nonetheless, finally getting a couple of rounds in a row. And not the cleanest rounds, but at least some rounds on the board.
That's the takeaway. Fate, they're going to take anything they can get at this point in time. They've already done better than their first half performance on Mirage, and now it's just about continuing to score. AGF, this is what I was talking about. Once they do get onto those bomb sites, does look a little bit weak on the defense sometimes, and that is where Fate are going to have the opportunities. If they can get into those retake scenarios, that's where I think AGO's defense complemented AGF's attack very well. AGO's style was to get kills and actually give the bomb site away to play for retake. That basically countered AGF totally during that last matchup, and with the opening kill in this one, I think Fate are going to be able to get some momentum on their CT side against this AGF squad. It's not quite going to be the easy ride the Danes thought they might have on this map.
It does not seem to be that way. They are starting to lose a couple of rounds too many. Christo does spot the player out towards Pit, but it is going to be a 3 versus 3 at the moment, and the B-bomb side is clear. They're just going to rush all the way towards B and should be able to get the cross in, especially because the utility on the CT side is one smoke, and they still have not even started the move forward to try and retake the B-bomb side.
What?
Okay. Whoops. But they are using almost all their utility on this T side to just make it into the site, and they're spending a lot of time here to cross further forward, but they at least will have post-plant positions available plenty. There's there's 2 players towards Dark and a player on Coffins, and that is going to be their defensive play from Fate. They smoke off construction though on Fate. An interesting choice to smoke off construction. They have no kit, as you said. Why did they smoke off construction?
I'm assuming they thought somebody was aggressive from AGF on that angle, so he's going to try and kill them as they cross into the bomb site. So I think the idea perhaps is to deploy a smoke and bait a spray down through it so that they can at least get some information or try and maybe punish a refrag through there. But Fate, I think they didn't really want to commit to that retake in a 3-on-3 scenario. They were hoping that maybe if they could get a lucky opening kill, then they were going to go for it. But without anybody peeking out, I don't think they were ever going to commit to that one.
That's a nice one round from AGF that, again, most of these rounds are pretty much rounds that look like they should go the other way. They get the opening 2 kills, but then for some reason, Fate gets too over-aggressive and just lose the 2 B players, and immediately AGF can rotate all the way back. Now it's going to be 3 B defenders from Fate. Mar is going to get a double spray coming out, and they will have 4 kills in their favor. Harn just prize shooting right there, shooting all the pigeons, and will manage to take that one for his team. Fate on 4, and it's looking like a pretty decent CT side at the moment.
And the T-side bank still isn't dead. It's not in a perfect place, but it is not in the grave. AGF are going to call a timeout to decide what they actually want to do about this upcoming round, because Froslev, Netric, they can definitely afford to buy. Lucky in TMB, though, they might have to drop down onto lesser weaponry, but I mean, they definitely enjoyed using Mach 10s as part of an aggressive strategy to counter those AWPers on Mirage. If they have TMB and Lucky drop onto the Mach 10s supported by AKs or even on Galils just so they can get some better utility on the board, AGF would have a competent buy together, but that does appear to be what they're going for. Lucky's going to pick up the Mach 10 and TMB the Galil. AK's elsewhere. They look for the commitment and their 8th round steal away in round number 12. However you look at it though, 7 rounds is still a good scoreline to put out on the T side of Inferno, and AGF are supposed to be a stronger CT side on this map.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that CT side. This time, I mean, the moment that there's any aggression coming out from AGF towards Connector, Fate immediately fall back out of complete terror, it seems. They are hedging their move towards that B bomb side. They rotate away blocker towards A, and now it's only 2 B bomb defenders. They have a decent amount of utility, 2 mollies at least, but that one flash just gets them off the angle, and they will be able to cross towards the side. Patrick in construction will get himself a second through the smoke, and the bomb is going to get planted on the site. Retake coming out, but with the weapons and with the utility that they still have on Fate, this should be a retaken site. Especially one player is in construction, is in banana right now. They smoked that off, and that's a player in trouble. Nikki is gonna get a 1-for-1 trade going on. Frostlev is actually gonna fall back to expend some more time from this retake, but it is gonna be the CTs defending it nonetheless. Get the defuse in. They have a kit on site, and that is going to be 5 for Fate, 7 for AGF, and it's getting closer to an even scoreline by the minute.
Has to be an eco now from the Fate squad. No real justification for a purchase. I'm not quite sure what their loss bonus is looking like, but it is certainly starting to beef up, so they can afford to invest lightly into the pistols. They've got a bit of a tough one on their hands, though, because they're in that scenario where instead of having a buy in round number 13 and then a buy in round number 15, they have to go for that penultimate half buy, which could find themselves stretched at the end of things. Fate, if they play their cards right, they can finish off with an 8-7 half here with the 1-round lead, which they'll be desperate for after the incredibly dominant start of AGF. But it may not be enough to hold on to the map. We will still have to see, as even these pistols do work against the Fate side. You're never safe against AGF, and the B bomb site is totally open right now. TMB knows his play has to be to make noise and then call the bomb to go into the A bomb site. Surely that is the strategy as TMB continues to fire. The bomb actually makes its way up banana with no firm plant commitment. They don't believe the rotations have come through, but that kill is going to prompt the push over to the A side of the map now, and it's Harn on this AWP who can shut the round down for AGF. Christo is going to walk into the crosshair, it looks like, and the AWP can shut it down. Bomb is going to be planted on the bomb site, but Christo, you wonder maybe whether or not he should have stuck with his teammate there.
Yeah, getting a little bit aggressive to get some intel, maybe go for the flank towards the B bomb site, but now Lucky 1 versus 2. Deagle, no armor and 34 HP. It's a lot of damage being dealt. They got the bomb plant in, but this could have definitely been a 1 round, especially with that opening towards the B bomb site. Could have given them ample opportunity here on AGF. So actually he's ticking down the bomb, and they are not guessing his positioning. Gets a double headshot. He just walks in and executes them perfectly. Will lose his lifeboat. What was that? I mean, the plant position that he did, and just they had absolutely no idea that he could even possibly be there.
Nobody checking their corners, and that's what happens when you leave it too long on the retake. There's not enough time for them to swing out all the angles properly. They just have to assume that he's playing the bomb for where it's planted. That is a crippling loss to the Fate squad. No 8-7 half for them on the cards anymore. And AGF with a victory in this round, 10-5 is the likely possibility. Fate keeping banana control, not willing to back away from it. They've earned multi-kills in the past on these angles, so they don't want to have to yield them before they absolutely need to. They back off into that B-bomb site with a fairly standard setup. It's Patrick and Nicky who do need to go big on the defense here. Relatively quick rotations from Arch side can come through, pending the AGF attack. They're going to try and fake it out on A with utility, though, before the actual execute comes in on the B side of the map.
There's a little bit of nade damage coming through. They have not decided completely on AGF yet what they want to siege, but the utility on this Fate side is rather lackluster. They have 2 flashes and 1 molly, but the molly is all the way on that A bomb site, and they are going to throw their utility towards B. If they manage to smoke everything off, they get the tags onto Patrick. He falls back, and Nicky towards Coffins will get a smoke on his face. Flash is coming through. Molly to clear outside, but again, Nicky gets a kill. They just don't wait long enough until the smoke's fully deployed. Blocker gets a kill onto TMB. All these kills through the smokes. Bomb is going to get planted in by Nitrik, and no one is rolling the boost. Oh my god, how is this happening? All of a sudden they get annihilated, and now it's looking likely that it's going to be Fate taking 7 on their CT side.
And that really is the weakness of AGF. If you play that fall off the site style and you found an opening kill, you can really play the man advantage against them, and they struggle to deal with those retakes. They couldn't get the bomb down in that last one, and their hopes of 10-5 go out the door with it. 9-6 their best hope now, but with this weaponry, it looks like 8-7 is what they'll have to settle for at the end of the half. Fate, not necessarily the best start, but much better than they looked on Mirage. The quadruple nades, I think it was, from AGF, sadly do not connect for any damage in this round, and there's another very active B defense still waiting in the wings here. It's looking to even push out and find frags. Meanwhile, AGF are going to try and exploit the A side of the map for some kills. That is a nice one by Netric. Blocker taken down very early on, but Mars still here on the balcony. The flash takes him off. He has to drop down. That left Trozlev take him down, actually. Through the smoke goes Han aggressively, but he could get punished by the spam. Just gets away in time, but the bomb is now being planted. Nicky has crept quite far forward, however. This could be a very important position, and one that could catch AGF off guard. He just has to find the right timing. Spots a player, but TMB lands those shots. 2-on-4 retake needed now. Lucky's picked up an AK to support his head armor, but he's made noise in the pit. That smoke gives some protection to the Fate side, but not all that they're looking for. Patrick, that is a huge play, and Han can save the round. AGF somehow lose out that 4-on-2, and Fate keep it at an 8-7 scoreline.
Pretty nicely done on the retake, but I just have to say, yes, they did manage to recover. Yes, Han got a double in the end there, but him jumping through the smoke to try and get the op shot in and then magically surviving and falling back, that should never have happened. The moment that he jumps through the smoke, you have a lot of pistols aiming in his direction, and he should have been shut down. Even if he gets back into the fading darkness of that smoke, they should just have been able to secure the kill. That's a risky move that really is unnecessary, but he gets away and manages to get the last 2 kills, and our partners at Lootbet will pretty much have about the same odds as at the start of the game. AGF clearly having the advantage, but definitely still very doable for Fate to come back in. I mean, they were, what, 6-1 ahead on AGF, and they came back with a massive swing here on Fate. That's a big nade onto Lucky, though. to start it off with, and now Lucky does manage to get the opening kill. Frostlev gets himself one as well and will fall back, but TMB gets a double on the aggressive banana push. Now it's all on Patrick. SpongeBob ain't gonna save him. Patrick, can he get more done? He's just boxed in completely, and he is done for. That is going to be AGF taking the pistol, and those odds probably did turn a little bit more in favor of AGF all of a sudden.
9-7 up. Do Fate go for the buy? They're going to take a timeout to have a talk about that because they didn't get the bomb plant, so maybe an eco would be a bit more expedient to allow them to achieve their goals. It's just the rifle is supported by one MP9 for AGF. They're not taking any risks with this second round buy, and they really don't want to either, because despite getting up to that good scoreline against AGO of 13-8, they very nearly let the map slip away. That was a CT half in which they claimed victory in the pistol. They found the early advantages, but then started to let them go. They need to hold on tighter to this particular map. And to be honest with you, Christo is having a bit of a low scoring game. However, you do have to give credit where it's due. I don't think they invested into an AWP on that T side.
No, they definitely did not. It is pretty much been a one, is it just only the rifles that they went for every single time. They did the same against AGO, where they just refused to buy the T side op, and it works out for them. You know, you get those more explosive play styles around angles, around corners to get more work done. But at the moment, it is looking like Fate. What is going to be their plan? They have play boosted on the wall in Banana. Netric does have a little bit of vision. Digo could shut him down, but he's not alone here. He does have a little bit of backup behind him. He's going to peek out wide. Sprays goes through, and he's immediately going to fall back after not getting the opening kill. Frostlev and Christo both holding mid. It's going to get peeked out. That's going to be the opening kill. But Frostlev does get the refrag and another one to boot. Now it's Mar getting the kill onto Lucky, traded out by Frostlev, but Nicky manages to get a kill right there in mid. Is going to rush Banana, but does not expect Netric to still be on that B bomb site. And with that, it's going to be AGF 10, Fate 7, and Fate are pretty much on an eco in this upcoming round.
Decent damage dealt from Fate, but they're not able to close out the round, and that's double digits to the Danish squad. They look for 11-7 now, unless the eco steal away victory can go to the Fate squad. They've got quad nades. It's all about placement, though. Obviously, you think about top of Banana being the normal position they get deployed, but they could go top mid. Could go absolutely anywhere. Banana is the deployment zone, though. They go out looking to deal maximum effectiveness, but the damage is definitely coming through here. There's a Nova in the hands of TFB. What on earth is happening? He gets 2 kills with it against the anti-ecoed players. And I mean, when else are you going to buy a Nova if not against Glocks? But somehow the B-bomb site has fallen to these weapons. They know from Fate that they've probably triggered the rotation with those kills. And Lucky does not expect Mar to be so close. Can this be a round that AGF lose control of? A minor lapse of concentration. And Fate now have a great opportunity to close it out. They stomp around this map. No regard for the sound cues at all. And that's Mar finding the frag. Frostlev, why does he just peek around there straight into Mar with his back turned? That is a really confusing round from AGF. Starts off poorly and then follows up in a very confusing manner.
The only thing that I can assume is that it's getting late, because so far this game in general, like all around, has been a just pure on brawl between these two teams. Like it's just, you know, jumping around corners, trying to get the immediate duel and trying to win that one. And it's pretty much been their game plan all around. It's not the cleanest of CSGO, but that round definitely a big win for Fate. They have an op right now onto Harn, and now AGF have to try and convert this semi-buy in their favor. They have 2 SMGs, 3 Deagles, and that is about everything that they have on their side. It is going to be the balcony push coming out. Roslev gets the opening, gets a second. Don't tell me that they're going to turn this one around as well. They're 5-man stacking the A side pretty soon as well. There's a player into second mid. Will get shut down by Harn though, but now they know that the offer is there and they're gonna double peek him. He is completely unaware of that potential and gets shut down. No backup from his team. Nicky's gonna go for the full plant, and they have one towards short, one on the bomb site. Christo gets taken out. That's the opper at least gone, but Nicky Mar is gonna get shut down, and this is, oh my god, what is this? Portalis, I mean, I know it's getting too late. It's not even that late. It's not even 12 o'clock. It's absolutely insane what these rounds are.
It is pretty mental at the moment. Especially just considering the way these rounds are going. AGF, they stack the A-bomb site. Perfect call. They overwhelm the AWPer in second mid. And despite it getting a little messy towards the end of the round, it does eventually go in their favor, and they steal one away again. Fate, though, not quite sure whether they've got away with this one economically. They do have guns on the board, so there is going to be a full investment coming out from this T side. Nicky actually going to be dropping out the AWP at the moment over to his teammates, so this is going to be a fairly comprehensible buy. Once all is said and done, AGF need to have their wits about them, because they have not just put their opponents onto an eco, and if they're managing the money properly, they should know that.
It's going to be a pretty tough one, of course, because if they manage to win this one on AGF, then Fate are looking at 13-8. I've seen that scoreline a little bit too much today. But yeah, it's again, and then it's going to be just that last little push forward to try and shut them out. Frostlev is trying to bait out a shot. Patrick, I know he spotted the player out, but that molly turns his back though towards Banana, and that's the opening kill for TMB right there. That's a mistake that he definitely should not have made.
One man lead.
Yeah, they're heading towards that A side. Portalis, take it away.
Well, they have the one-man lead on the AGF side, and Blocker is just eating utility damage. Nicky, he takes a nade to the noggin as well, and that nade finishes Blocker off in Boiler. That's a double-man lead now for AGF, and Fate, they have no money in the bank. This is a round they're really looking to win on their T side, but they've only got 2 flashes and 1 smoke grenade to try and make it work. That's the problem. That's why you're seeing them so passive on these angles. And look at the defensive setup from AGF. They have 4 men confidently in that B bomb site and the A bomb site, and the idea is that Christo is going to get early vision if nothing else. He can miss the shot and back away and call a rotation in. There's not much time left for the Fate squad, so if they want to go to A, they have to turn around and commit now. Otherwise, they have to make this work on the B bomb site. Smoke's coming out, but AGF, they're already pushing mid on the flank here. The shot has been landed by Christo. Han not going to be able to land that one as he retreats to Banana. He's not ready for the positioning, but quick enough to land the flick. Lucky will take him down at the end of things, though. That means no saved sniper from Fate and a hard eco required to stabilize their economy.
You know what's ridiculous? AGF are 12-8 ahead, and Christo is on 5-15.
Yeah.
That's
Netric as well is only on 7.
It's like that. Frostlev going just like in the previous map, just going absolutely mental. I mean, how? They have 2 really underperforming players on the AGF side, but they're still outperforming the Fate players. I mean, only Blocker is really underperforming on their side. So pretty much give Frostlev a raise right there, because he's doing a lot of the work right now to get you to those playoffs. Fate are now going to be on that eco, and it's 4 rounds for AGF to win and 8 for Fate to try and take this one before OT. So it's going to be a tough climb, but they are definitely a team that is able to normally. However, with just how it's going tonight with just straight up this brawly type of CS:GO match. It's looking more like a ESCA game or something along those lines, where it's just it's looking very puggy, I have to say. A lot of solo plays, a lot of weird mistakes coming out with utility even, and just dry peaks that just melt their players off. Interesting. CS:GO might just be the evening, though.
Lucky's just missed the timing on a peak there, so doesn't know that the player's crossed to the left-hand side. Got to be a bit careful of an advanced peak. Christo is watching the arch side at the moment, and there's a single flashbang in the hands of Hahn, so they need to put that down in the perfect spot. It's their only route into this bomb site. Lucky spotted them all out slightly early, and the AKs are good enough to clean up. Frozlev gets a triple. Make it a quad, actually, in the bomb site, and finishes off that round. Speaking of Frozlev, he's on 27 kills now, and I think that there's actually a huge level of motivation for young Danish talent to really try and come up through the scene, especially at this level, because they have such a deep scene, and it's fairly well ranked in terms of structure as well. Astralis as an organization at the very top in terms of the resources that they have available, and then you trickle down, you have teams like North, Heroic, Mad Lions. There are so many opportunities for Danish stars to really rise through the ranks, and I think the reason you see Frozlev perform so well is that potential to go through. Just look at bo3. That has to be the example for players to aspire to at the moment. AGF, they open up again with a kill in this round, and look at the utility damage, chipping down those heads. One-shot headshot potential for the M4s on every single Fate player now. And they're going to try and get into the A bomb side again, but they're still eating grenades for breakfast.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage taken so far. Netric is just looking at the sky right there, but the spray down comes out. TMB gets one, another one through the smoke, and they're just doing so much damage without actually seeing the players of Fate. Just the pure utility damage and the shots through the smoke, but that's a nice catch coming out. They might try and pounce on the side. Bomb has been dropped towards long. Lucky in the pit, but they don't expect Frostlev to be in that angle, and Frostlev gets himself a kill. Lucky gets himself a double as well, and that's going to be AGF 14-8. It looks like we're going to have ourselves a very short evening. Cast Brutalis with the way everything's going. Oh no, I jinxed it.
Well. The pistol buys coming out from Fate. They have to take the money management round here. And correct me if I'm wrong, but when AGF were 13-8 up against AGO, I think it was around like this, a quick push into the A bomb site that AGF lost control of, and that started the scoring streak for the T side. So you can never quite feel safe that these maps have been closed out. The pistols can always find a way to catch their opponents off guard somehow, but Christo, he's opened up at bare minimum in this round. Still a 4-on-5, and still potential for the pistols to overwhelm that A bomb site, as it's not another 4-man stack from AGF in this round. They go for a more balanced play, thinking that the pistols are more mobile and more likely to rotate between bomb sites. They push through the smoke into Frostlev, and he might even double up. He does, drops the bomb. And now Hahn and Mark, Tech9 and CZ, Flash and HE to try and deny map point.
Okay, that one was perfect. Gotta give you kudos on that rhyme right there. It's gonna be the push towards the A side, but how much can you get done? At this moment, it's looking like it's all set and done. They have to win 7 map points, series, but just in general playoff points. This is the end of the tournament on the line.
It is 15-8, and Frozlev has a 30 bomb. You normally don't ever see 30 bombs unless it's like a 16-13 scoreline knocking on the door of overtime. 23 rounds played, and he's got 30 kills in this map. That is absolute insanity from Froslev. He's taken over this series. He was absolute cash money on Mirage as well. And at 15-8, this one should be in the bag. AGF, even if they lose this round, they have so many opportunities to close out the series. Lucky's going to get aggressive, peeks left first, but Locker can turn around in time, at least to trade that kill out 1-for-1. That keeps the man advantage in favor of the T side here, and they may have an opportunity to stay alive. That headshot from Blocker certainly helps them out. And with 2 men left alive from AGF, they gamble stack into the A bomb site, which is exactly where Fate are heading.
It is Frostlev on that bomb site as well that you have to deal with. A player DCs on Fate, so it's a 2-on-2 situation. You gotta be kidding me that this is actually the way that it's gonna end, right?
Ooh.
It is gonna be hard getting the kill on Frostlev at least, but I mean, it was the 12 o'clock time right now. Maybe the internet timer went out. It's bedtime. Click.
The timing on it is actually uncanny. It could be what has occurred in this map. Now, Fate winning that round, we're obviously going to have a technical pause coming through into this one now. And to be honest, I am sort of glad that Fate ended up winning that round. I really would have hated to see them drop a player and then lose the map because of that. That is just not what you want to see whatsoever. So we are going to await the return of Nicky on his way back into the server. Second highest fragger on the Fate scoreboard at the moment. So definitely a player you want to have back in the map. And Han, my boy, please stop. Thank you.
I just wanted to ask one of the observers to please change views because that was a little bit loud. But yeah, it's okay. This is a decent enough pause. Look at the tank mobile unit thing, whatever you call it. Transportation unit thing. Okay, let's get a little bit of scouting on the map. Look at stuff. Well, no, never mind. He's back.
We're actually having a T-Tours right now. It's a legitimate opportunity for the emote. Just having a look around. Look, some washing up there. Towels hanging down. What else? Oh, lovely little flower pots up in the windows, and the number 26. I mean, what else could you really want there? And then, of course, the classical Corso Inferno sign in the middle of mid. I feel a little bit like I'm on a travel show at the moment, just guiding people around this sort of quaint Italian village, not as, you know, somebody witnessing an intense battle between CT and T forces. Now, I suppose you do have to give commendation to those paintings, and maybe this is sort of, you know, an allegory of AGF in this map. They are the rocks standing tall against the never-ending tide of Fate, and it looks very likely that those cliffs are going to be able to outlast the T-side erosion. 6 rounds necessary for Fate in order to force overtime here on map 2. AGF need 1 to book their spot in the playoffs.
And I did just get to read a very interesting stat, and it seems that if they lose this is the 5th time they've lost the decider match in Malta vibes.
Ooh.
That's a curse. That's a guaranteed curse. That is just Malta vibes is not the tournament for them, it seems. Especially with the internet dying out at 12 o'clock and it won a very crucial round and everything against them right now. Not looking too great. They still need to win 6 rounds in a row to even force overtime and give them a shot at trying to turn this one around. But it's going to be tough. The positioning of the CTs rather aggressively towards Banana. They have 2 CTs pushed up really closely. They could get mollied off. Actually, they have to guess which side they want to pop that molly. They're actually going to push Banana right now, and gonna dodge the flash. Kill comes out from TMB, but will they expect the second player to be there? No, they do not. Luckily, Frostlev chimes in for the 3rd kill, and that is going to be a man advantage coming out. Christo has the flank caught. Blocker. Oh, this is going to be a timing thing. Christo is going to re-peek in.
Blocker heard that scope, I think.
Definitely heard those steps coming through. And the bomb is headed towards B slowly but surely. But the Christo, he's getting really anxious. Does he expect him that close? No, he does not. Oh my god! How spider sense is tingling everywhere. How does he know that? What a flick, what a shot, and now it's all on Harn. 1v3. He might as well just die because the time was ticking down, and that is, my friends, AGF 16-9. Denying Fate their chance in the playoffs. And AGF, the Danish squad, as you said, so many Danish